All right, man, peace. So the great Kevin Durant took some time out during the NBA's Media Day to speak with Miss Roz Thirst Trap Gold Woody. He answered many of her questions and provided his perspectives in regards to what he expects from himself, what he expects from his squad, the Golden State Warriors, and what his options may be after the season. So, of course, they're going to talk about it. I'm going to chime in.
To Oakland we go. Roz Gold Woody with Kevin Durant, the two-time NBA Finals MVP.
Kevin, guys like you and Steph have been so successful and dominant so long. What do you work on when you're thinking about how do I get better this summer coming into the season?
It's a great question. I think at this point in my career, I just want to continue to fine-tune the small things in my game. Can be small as one dribble pull-ups right or shooting a left-hand layup. I'm just trying to fine-tune as much as I can, find the small details in my game to get better.
He can also improve not always descending into one-on-one basketball. I think that sometimes when Kevin gets a little flustered, he just wants to go one-on-one, and he cannot always allow himself to descend to that.
And I know I was there in Brazil when you played with DeMarcus Cousins with the Olympic team. That's a really good chance to get to know him as a teammate. What have you learned about him?
What I told him there in 2016 is I understand you now. When you get close to somebody and you hear the narratives and everything from the outside, it's kind of hard to gauge. But when I got up close with DeMarcus, I understood where he comes from, how he was raised, and how his basketball background. Once I understood that, it made it easier for me to play with him, and I started to recognize, appreciate all the skills that he had.
Maybe what's one thing that you had a misconception about DeMarcus that you found out wasn't how he is?
Just always angry. You know what I'm saying? It's especially now that's how people view me at this point.
No, bro, I have to stop you there. People do not view you as always being angry. People view you as being someone who's not in control over your own hypersensitivity. It's a major difference. I'm not even quite sure if people view DeMarcus Cousins as angry, even though I think that it's relatively accurate. I think that they view him as someone who lacks self-control. Someone can be very angry and also be in control. A lot of times they're known as serial killers. But in the case of DeMarcus Cousins, he just seems to be someone who has a lot of feminine energy that he cannot control. He just expresses it in a different way from Kevin. Kevin also has a lot of feminine energy that oftentimes he cannot control, and it comes out in the form of hypersensitivity and being overly concerned with what others think about him. But in regards to DeMarcus, we'll see what happens with him and Kevin, because now they've added a third mama's boy onto the team. So we'll see.
I get it, because no, I'm not angry. It's just who I am, how I was raised, and what I've been through so far to get here. So
I agree that it is how you were raised. I don't think that you're angry at all. I just think that you're being you. At the end of the day, as long as you're not creating fake accounts, you're not hurting anyone, go ahead and be you, bro. It is what it is, man.
When you start to understand what guys been through and how they approach the game, it makes you appreciate the small things.
You successfully joined a team of all-stars 2 seasons ago. What advice would you give DeMarcus as he's trying to do the same this year?
Well, just to know that you're going to see the best version of him. When you play with great players, you're going to bring out some stuff that you never really thought you had in your bag. And that was the greatest thing about coming here with the Warriors, that I had to unlock other parts of my game, and I know DeMarcus is going to do the same thing.
So it's going to be very interesting to see if you make that decision to leave from the Warriors, Kevin Durant, because where exactly are you going to go where you're going to be a part of a collective that's going to allow you to highlight all the things that you can do?
And you'll be waiting for DeMarcus to come back with his health. You also lost JaVale McGee. You lost Zaza.
Oh, man, what a loss. JaVale McGee left. Who the hell is going to headbutt the rim this season other than JaVale?
Zaza Pachulia. So what does that mean for the bigs position here with the Warriors, especially at the early point of the season?
Well, last year we did a lot of big by committee. Sometimes we started Zaza, we finished with JaVale. I think this year, when you got somebody like that, you don't even really need to do a committee. We got Damian Jones, who can come in and give us some good backup minutes, but until DeMarcus comes back, probably is going to start for us. And then we got Looney, who could play the 4 and the 5. So,
Yeah, Looney will probably get most of the minutes because it seems like Steve Kerr likes Looney.
Along with having a good depth, we got the best center in the league as well. So it's a good mix.
You told me people think you're mad or angry. How do you feel? What are you about? What year are you entering in the league now? 12? How does KD...
Wow, that's crazy. KD's going into his 12th season. Damn.
he enter his 12th year of the league?
With a little bit more poise and experience, knowing how to approach the situation, knowing that everything is always just about basketball. Come in and go to work.
As long as you keep it like that, bro, you'll be fine. At the end of the day, you have to create partitions in your life. Certain things cannot be allowed to mix. In regards to your hypersensitivity, if that's how you choose to manufacture some level of catharsis in your life or some level of purification, purging, or what have you, go ahead and do that. As long as you're not hurting anybody, hurting yourself, and not creating falsehoods like making fake accounts and all this other stuff. Just do you, man. But also understand that to whom much is given, much is required. If you're content with fraternizing with the common folk, they're going to judge you for it. So expect that.
Go to work and go home. Nothing else really matters. And I think that's just a perfect place to be in at this point.
All right, well, I wish you the best of luck in year 12.
Appreciate it.
All right, so we'll see what happens with Mr. Kevin Durant this up-and-coming season. I expect everything to flow relatively well, unless, God forbid, he or one of his teammates goes down with a season-ending injury. So peace.